Alright guys, we are here talking about sales pages, and so I'm going to show you step by step the processes that you go through to get a sales page live and on the internet. So what I'll be showing you is how you can take a sales page, whether it's from a private label rights product. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to create a sales page from scratch, much like it's actually very similar to how you create your download pages, believe it or not. And I'm going to show you how to create a basic sales page from scratch, but also show you how to work with the private label rights sales page. And the main focus of this is to basically get you to a point where you're comfortable getting your sales page online. So I've got open here the software that we have talked about before called Composer, and let me just go out here to the internet and show you Composer here. So let me just jump on over here, show you guys how to download it. And this has been mentioned on previous trainings, but if you're just jumping into this one, Composer is a software that we will be using. In fact, it's spelled with a Z, not an X. That is Composer, Kompozer. And it is a free software. It's an HTML editor, much like Microsoft Front Page or any of the like Dreamweaver, anything like that. It's very similar to that. It's an HTML editor that is free. It works with both Mac and Windows computers. So if you have a Macintosh, like an iMac or something like that, this will work with that. So you can also use this with the Windows, which is what I'm doing this on right now. So composer.net, and it's absolutely free. If you have questions, you can just go to their screenshots or community, but make sure you spell it with a Z so you come across the right software, and it is absolutely free. So the first step of the process when you're actually doing anything involving sales pages is going to be for you to actually go ahead and upload, or excuse me, import the sales page that you do want to work from. So in order to do that, when you open up Composer, it's going to look very similar to what you've got open on our screen here. And you're just going to come right on over here and click on Open. And once you click on that, you're going to actually see files. It's going to look very similar as if you were, for example, working from, let's just say, if you're just in here and you were going to attach an email or something, attach a picture to an email or do something like that, you're going to browse your files the same way. You're going to go through your documents, your pictures, your videos, whatever you want to open with the software, but you obviously want to open the HTML document, which more than likely, came in a folder or something like that if you have a pre-made sales page done. Which if you've bought private label rights materials at any time in the past, this is how you would go about and uploading it. So you're just going to go to Open and go ahead and double click on that. So now that we've gotten that far, what we are actually going to do is we've actually opened it up here on our screen, and this is what we've got here, to work from. So this is a sales page, assuming that you aren't creating one from scratch. This is assuming you're going to use a private label rights squeeze page. Obviously the most important parts of sales pages, you've got your headlines, you've got your sub headlines, which are going to look like this. But we're not really doing a copywriting course here. What we're doing here is really showing you how the technical parts of getting this live and on the internet. Now, Composer does a great job if you've gotten any private label rights material in the past and have a sales page for it. And again, if you're putting a sales page up on live, your process is going to be extremely similar to this. But basically, it's going to say, typically they'll have something that says like your name. So right here, you're going to input your information here. So just go ahead and plug in your name here. Whoops. Let's put that mouse down here. Okay, so from the desk of John Smith, for example. So obviously right there you would insert your name, and all private label rights sales pages aren't going to look like this. They might have graphics with them at the top when you open it up, but you're going to edit them much in the same way. You're just going to be typing out here. If you decide you want to change this headline, or if you want to test your own headline, you can just highlight it like that. Just point your mouse, click on your mouse and drag it over, and you can hit the backspace key to delete it, or the delete key. And then you can type in, maybe you want to change that to the word uncover, for example. And just put your mouse there and type away. And if you want to edit anything, like change a space, just point your mouse. It's point and click simple, which is why the software is so great. Now, like I mentioned, if we're doing this with private label rights, the quickest thing you can do is browse through here, make sure there's, the material looks good on the sales letter. If you feel like it's something that will sell, then you don't need to focus too much else on editing it. But if you find something like, hey, this maybe there's a swear word in the copy, and you obviously don't want to give across that impression, so you want to go in here and edit it. So I recommend you skim through any PLR sales page. But this is mainly a tech course, as we talked about. So, but I mainly want to get across the point of the technical topics of, how to get this live and on the internet. Now, if you're wanting to insert an image, that process is very similar. So if I were to come here and decide, hey, I want to put a picture in here, again, you just come over here, much like, when you did this with download pages, and you're just going to choose insert, and then you can choose image, or you can come up here and click on image right up here. You can add images to your sales letter, which is great. Let's say you want to add a picture of yourself. You can just pull that up, on your computer, and just browse through that and upload a picture. For example, like here's some sample pictures that we could put up. So let's just put in a picture of a koala here, for example. It'll ask you if you want to use alternate text or not. So I recommend you just choose don't use alternate text and click OK. And obviously you want to resize that image quite a bit. So you can come on in here and resize that image to fit. All I'm doing is just pointing in the corners here and dragging it. So you notice that? If I want to add that to the center there we go. So now we've got a picture of the koala bear. So let's say we want to insert your picture next, for example. So let's come over here, go to insert image, and you don't have to have your picture on a sales letter, but it does help. It does help get people to recognize you. So let's say you want to insert your picture, for example. So let's just go ahead, and this is a picture of you with your family, for example. So there it is, and you could just take this and resize it so that it fits, so it's thumbnail size. And it's very simple because you just upload it. You don't have to do much with the images beforehand. I recommend you do something like you try to resize them beforehand, but most importantly is that it comes out and that it's not distorted or anything like that. So I've uploaded the picture, and then you're just dragging around. So that's how you insert an image. A lot of sales letters, you see the picture of the product creator. Some people choose to put the picture clear at the bottom, at the close. So they'll put in sincerely, John Smith, and obviously at the end you want to change that to your name. Make sure that's been changed. So let's come on in here and make that change as well. Okay, and right here, let's say you want to insert your picture there. All you're doing again is image, and you just want to insert the image onto your computer. Now, one thing that is important to note is that if you are doing any kind of editing with a private label rights, sales letter or any kind of sales letter, and you're actually inserting images, it's very important that the images that you're pulling from, like for example, this is my sales page folder. If I'm going to be using those images that I've pulled just off my computer from maybe my pictures folder, for example, I actually would be best for me to actually put these pictures here, for example, and to actually go ahead and move them to the directory that I'm working from. So I'm going to go here, and it would make a lot of sense for me to put it into this particular folder, because the reason is that it's going to actually be pulling those images from your computer, and so when you go to upload it online, you'll notice there's going to be red X's with your images. So a lot of people wonder, well, why is there red X's, when I try to load this up on the internet? Well, that's because it's pulling for the file from your computer. So what I recommend you do here is that, for example, if let's say you've already worked with this image, but you had it pulling from your computer, you want to come here now and just change this, get rid of all that, and the image location would just be the name of the image, okay? Now if they ask you to do alternate text, you can put in your name if you want. That's a good idea if it's your picture, John Smith, and then just go ahead and click on OK, or you could go here to advanced edit and do more advanced things, but we're just going to stick with the basics right here. And all I did there was just go in here and I've just changed it so that it actually pulls the pictures from the actual directory where the sales page is stored that you're working from. Because if you don't do that, you're going to get all those red X's. It gets very confusing and very obnoxious, So you just need to double click on an image, Or the best thing you could do is actually, before you actually do anything with your images, you want to move them. Go ahead and take your images and just move them from your folder here. Like if I'm in the sales page folder, you just want to go ahead and move the pictures, from your pictures folder, wherever they're stored in your computer, and move them to the folder where you're actually storing your sales page files. So you see here, this is the sales page I'm working from. I want to move my images to this folder. And the reason you do that is so when you actually go to upload them, when you upload you have to upload the pictures along with your sales page, so that when it goes online, it's going to actually show up, show up the actual pictures, which is obviously what you want here. So now that we've accomplished that, we've changed our name down here. I've showed you a little bit about how to edit it. We're actually up to a spot where it's time for you to go ahead and work from putting in your payment button. But one more thing I want to draw to your attention before we go to payment button is some of the features built in here to Composer that actually enables you to make it look like a more authentic sales page or different things like that. So again, you notice here this font is red. Now, if for some reason you decided you wanted to make the headline an orange color, for example, or you want to make it a random color, maybe purple, so it's different or something. Who knows what your theory is? You decide you want to make that purple. You notice you can just highlight it. Very simple. You hold down your left click mouse and highlight it, just like if you were highlighting content on a page. Very, very simple. Point and click of a mouse. Come in here and pick your color. They make it extremely simple, like if you want to go with an orange. Sales letter, obviously red tends to convert the best. That's what we see the most, but hey, this is in case you decide you want to change something, or you notice something you want to do different from everybody else. So we can come on in here and let's just we'll just go ahead and go back to the reddish color here. And let's say you want to make the font bigger. You'll notice here there is a larger font size or a smaller font size. Like let's say you wanted that to, still stand out but not be as big, so you could fix that. Or you wanted it slightly bigger than what it originally was. So you just come over here to the bigger symbol and just double click on that, and you think, okay, whoa, that's too big. So you could either come here, which I think is easiest, or you could go up here to go format and choose size, and you can actually go through extra small, small, medium, large, or extra large. And in most cases for a sales letter, extra large is going to be a pretty good size to go with. Extra large or extra extra large is going to be a good size. Now obviously if you want to resize it more, you can just keep hitting that button. Let's say here you decide that you want to for example, highlight a certain section, so you want to make sure that is highlighted in yellow. So all I've done here is I've grabbed, highlighted this with my mouse by clicking the mouse and dragging it over. And what I've done here then is just clicked on the yellow, the highlight key right here, and I've actually chosen a color to highlight it with, so that way it stands out. So let me show you that one more time. Up here is, it's a highlighter. It lets you actually put in like a background there. And we'll go ahead and pick our color here, and let's just go ahead and click on OK. And if you want to make this stand out more, you could put like maybe stars or something like that over it so it really sticks out. And now you've got this set up, and ready to work for you in this way. So what we're going to do now, that's how you add in like highlights. You see a lot of that on sales letters. Let's say that you want to add in something like, let's just say on the sales letter, you decide you want to add like a break or something, a hard line break, so it kind of separates a certain part of the sales page. In order to do that, that part's a little more complicated, but it is still very easy to do. Like let's say we want to put a line that's going to go between this picture here, this product, and this word right here. So we're going to remember what this word is, so introducing a special video series. And I'm going to go here to where it says source at the bottom. Notice you've got normal, HTML tags, and source. We're going to go to source. And I'm going to hit the key Control F, or I can hit Edit, and we're going to look for find and replace. So I'm going to find the text. Let's see, I'm going to remember what that was. Normal, introducing. Okay, introducing a special video series. So edit, find and replace. and then hit the word next. Okay, there it is. So introducing, and the reason I did that there was just so it's easier because HTML code is very confusing to dig through, and so it's a lot easier if you can just use the find feature, which is either Control F or it's Edit F or Command F on a Mac. So what we're going to do here is you notice here the paragraph break right here that no one ends up wanting to buy. We are going to do a tag, and I want you to make sure that you take note of this. It is the tag. It's an arrow to the left, which is right next to the letter M on your keyboard. The word HR with a space and a forward slash, and then a arrow or caret to the right, which is found right next to the caret to the left on your keyboard. And what that does, that actually creates a nice little break there. You'll see this line right here show up. So you notice here, boom, there's a line right there. So there it is. That seems to be showing up and working correctly. So there is that part of it. So if you want to add a line, that is exactly how you do that. If you decide for some reason you want to go in here and make this unbold, you could just highlight it and unbold that by just clicking on the B. And so it's very basic, most of the processes. Now if I wanted to come in here, let's say, and underline this text here, we come in there and underline that. So you're just going in here with your sales page. If it's a PLR sales page or if it's your own sales page, it's important to go through, edit, do spell check on it on your own, look for any grammar errors, maybe bold some things, make things stand out more, underline things. Like if I want to make this font bigger, I'm just going to highlight this. So I just wanted to show you guys some of these basic tools here to make this function and make this work for you. Now at the bottom here of any sales page, you don't see this on this page. It is important that you have a terms and conditions type page and things like that. So what you can do here is just bring your mouse on down here to a spot where it'll let you type in. So that'll take just a moment here. And let's just put in some information here. So let's put in our About Us page. And then you can put a slash in there. You'll notice that font is nowhere near what we want it to be. And then you've got like a contact us, something like that. And then you've got your privacy policy and all that good stuff. So we'll come in here and make that font a lot smaller. Let's make that black font. Let's take out the underlining, make it even smaller. Let's take out the bolding of it, and we come on in here and let's add in like let's just say earnings disclaimer, depending on the market you're marketing into. So there it is. So I'm just typing that in. Now if I want to come in here and link up my earnings disclaimer, for example, I'm just going to highlight that text. If I want to link anything up, choose the word link, and what I'm going to do here is go ahead and type in my link here. So I'm just going to type in the new link that I want it to go to. So let's just go ahead and plug that in here. Let's try yourwebsite.com/earnings disclaimer.html. And this button right here is what I highly recommend when you're doing anything on your sales letter as far as additional pages. Even if it's a testimonial page, you want to make sure the link is opened in a new window. The only time you do not want to do that feature is if you're encouraging people to buy now, because once they buy, you don't want that to get stopped by Pop-Up Blogger. But it's okay if you're things like terms, and also you don't want people to leave your page. You don't want people to be on your sales page checking out your offer, getting distracted and reading your testimonials, and then they never end up back on your sales page. That's not a good thing for you. So always check link is to be open in a new window. I highly recommend that you do that option. Then go ahead and click on OK right here, and you'll notice that is now clickable there, yourwebsite.com/earningsdisclaimer.html. Okay, so that's how you add that feature. You're basically just pointing your mouse on that page, especially on the on the page that you received, whether it's a private label rights page or your own sales page. You're just typing in what you want down there, highlighting it, and putting in the link. All right. So now that you're up to that point of things, what you want to do next here is go ahead and link up your Buy Now button. Now there's several options here. For one, we've got PayPal. So I'll show you how to go ahead and set up a button within PayPal. And then I'm going to actually show you how to set up a button with Pay.com. And then we'll go into ClickBank and then we'll do 2Checkout. So I'm going to show you 4 different providers, 4 different buttons that you could use to actually get your product online. 4 different ways to get paid, and I'll talk a little bit about them. But this is, in a nutshell, how you set up your sales letter. It's very, very simple, to do that. So it's very, very simple for you to go about that process. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and pull up PayPal here. So I'm going to go to my Internet Explorer here, and we are going to go ahead and pull up PayPal. So it'll be just a moment. And with the PayPal button, you obviously need an account at paypal.com. It's a very common way to get paid. The only downside of PayPal is that you cannot have an affiliate program when you're using just PayPal. If you tie PayPal in with pay.com, you can accept PayPal. And ironically, or not ironically, but interestingly enough, 2checkout.com accepts PayPal, and so does ClickBank. You don't get it paid directly into your account, but you do get paid, and then they'll send you a direct deposit or a check every 1 week or 2 weeks, depending on how you set that up. So I would say the main advantage of PayPal is you get paid instantly. It goes right into your account. The disadvantage of just using PayPal is you can't have an affiliate program. But hey, if it's a product that's just your own, that you're just going to sell to your list, or that you're just going to market on your own, PayPal is a great way to start out. Works great with eBay, works great with a lot of alternatives. So we're going to go ahead and put in our PayPal our login here. This will take just a moment. And once we're logged in here to this sample PayPal account, we're going to be in a position to where we can actually set up a payment button. So where that button is located is up here at the top. It's going to be found under Merchant Services. Merchant Services. So I'm going to log in here, and I'm going to choose a Buy Now button. We're just going to go with the Buy Now button. And they'll give you options, add to cart button or a buy now button. You typically want a buy now button, especially when it's related to digital products, because you want people, you don't want to be like a shopping center where they can add multiple products. When they're buying online, as far as digital products go, you want them to go directly to buying that digital product. So I'm going to come over here, choose a button type. It's going to be a buy now button. The scroll down will give you donations, gift certificates, subscriptions, automatic billing, and a payment installment plan. We are going to go with the Buy Now button for now. The item number, this is where you put in the name of your item. So you could call it ebook 1, or call it whatever. The item name is what your customers are going to see when they check out. So you want to make sure they know what it is that they're getting. Now, the product I'm working on is called E-commerce affiliate profits. That's the PLR sales page we have. Obviously, you would insert your product name here so it's easy for people to understand and relate to. An item ID is optional, but it is kind of nice, for you to, if you're just quickly trying to look up your different products that you have. You could call it EAP1 or something if you wanted to, or you could just leave that blank. The most important thing, though, is that you put your item name so that your customers know what it is, and so you know what it is, because when they click on that button to buy that product, they're going to be taken to a way to pay with PayPal. It's going to tell them what they're buying. So you need to make sure they know what they're getting into, what they're investing in. You want to go ahead and put in your price here, so we'll just put in our price point at $37 here. Now there's several options here. There's going to be, your customer view, they'll have like a buy now button that's similar to that button, or you could add a drop down menu if you want to, which I don't recommend that with price options, especially with digital products, so you can ignore those features. Shipping, you can leave that blank for now. Merchant account, use my secure, or just use my primary email, that's fine. Step 3, you can avoid step 2 because you're not really tracking inventory. as far as this goes. There's really no need to do that. Or if you really wanted to, for example, and this is one way marketers have done this in the past, if you really are serious about having a limit, like maybe you're doing a sale, and so you only want to limit 25 ebooks to be sold at 75% off, you can come in here to where it says track inventory, and come in here, and it will actually let you know the quantity in stock. So you could put in the item ID, put in 25 in stock. Alert quantity would basically send you like an email when it falls short. So hey, if you're down to your last five, you want it to alert you. So then you could send an email to your list, or do a Twitter post and say, hey, I've only got five left at this price, or whatever. And then you just come in here. You can put in your price right there as well. So that's how you can track inventory by item. Obviously, you don't need to worry so much about that unless you're doing something of that nature. You can choose to save the button at PayPal. So that's the only reason you would need step two. In most cases, 90% of the cases, you can just avoid step two. Step three, this is where it gets interesting. Do you want to let your customer change order quantities, yes or no? In most cases, it will be no, because there's no reason for them to have multiple copies of a digital product. All that will do is lead to problems where somebody accidentally buys the item twice and then they want a refund, and it's just a hassle. So I typically just go with no if you're selling digital goods. Can your customer add special instructions or a message to you? Typically the best option there is no, because if they have something they want to tell you, customer support or whatever, tell you how they feel about you, they can send you an email to your support. You don't really need a message showing up in there, because if they write you a message and you overlook it, most people don't even read those things. So it's best if you can just make that option no. Do you need your customer shipping address? The only reason you would need their shipping address would be if they're actually, if you're actually sending them a DVD, for example, or sending them a physical version of their product. That's when you need their shipping. But typically, the best option, if it's digital, just leave that as no, because the less information you ask from them, the more likely they are to purchase from you. Now, this option here is a very cool option and something that should be leveraged more. If you check this box here, it gives you a chance to put in a link that says, take my customers to this URL when they cancel their checkout. So basically what that means, like you could have a page set up at, like PayPal tells you here, mystore.com or mydomain.com/cancel. You could actually have a cancel page that actually says, hey, sorry sorry to see you're canceling, but hey, I'd like to offer you this product at a $10 discount, or something like that. So if they hit cancel on the order form, the actual order form, like they're going through the process of buying, and something in their mind says, oh, I shouldn't go through with this, it will actually automatically redirect them to a page. This is one cool thing of PayPal, because ClickBank doesn't do this, and the others, only PayPal does this, but it'll redirect them to a page that says, hey, sorry you want to cancel. If it was a little bit too high, I understand things are tough right now. How about a $25 discount, or something like that, or how about an additional 20% off, or whatever. Give them a price point off, and then give them another option to invest in your program. So that could be very powerful. In a lot of cases, if you don't have a cancel page, you do not need to worry about this one. Just leave that completely blank, okay? So the next option here, and this will be just a moment to refresh. So the next option here is under step 3 here. This part is the most important part of this entire process. Okay, so let's go back here, re-input our information here since we got redirected. Take customer to this URL when they finish checkout. This one is very, very important in my opinion. With the digital product, it's the most important element of your PayPal checkout button. You want to make sure in step number 3 of creating the button that it takes your customers to this URL when they finish checkout. This is their success page. This would be like your download page, or as we talked about when you did download pages, it could be sending them straight through to a squeeze page type page where they're taken to a page to register for their product. So you're taking them onto a page that says, hey, where would you like us to send your downloads? This part is super important. Cannot stress that enough. This part of the process, is really going to eliminate most of your customer support headaches, because what it does is it automatically, after your customers pay, even right in the middle of the night when you're sleeping, it's automatically going to send them the download link or send them to the page to register to get their download link, and then that, once they register, that sends them the link. So either way, your customers automatically get what they paid for, which is extremely huge with any kind of digital product, as you already know. So we're just going to put in here mystore.com / and then you could put your thank you page, ty123, whatever that is, ty underscore 456, let's say, dot html. So that's a page. After they buy, they're taken to this page. This could be either the landing page they get to where they put in their name and email to get their product, or it could be just a straight download page. Either way, you want to make sure that take customers to this URL when they finish checkout is checked, and that is under step number 3. Very important. Okay, so what we're going to do here now, I'm going to jump up here, make sure that product name is in there. So let's call this e-commerce. Okay, and then we'll put in the price here. And what we're going to do here now is scroll on down and go ahead and choose create button. Create button. Very simple to do. And it's going to actually generate code for you. If you're using this on your website, which you are in this case, and you decide you want to use PayPal's button, they make it very simple for you. Where it says website, all you have to do is copy that, click on select code, right click and copy. Again, right click and choose copy. You're going to come on over here to the spot on your sales page, especially if it's a PLR page. They usually give you a spot to put in your call to action. You're going to come on right in there and go ahead and put in your information. So let's do that real quick. So I'll scroll down here and let's go to the buy now page. Okay, so what you're going to look for is where the payment button's located here. So you want to look for the text here that's around it. So maybe equation was the last word we saw here. Okay, so let's just come on in here and you can just paste that in there. So you're just going to paste in this code that came straight through from PayPal. So they gave you that code, and you can actually center that code for you, if you will, and then you can delete the old payment button that was showing up there. So there it is. So now that button is active for you. Okay, so there's the buy now button that way. That's one way of doing a buy now button from PayPal. Another way is if, for example, let's say you've created your own button, or let's say the private label rights package you purchased had its own set of add to cart graphics, checkout graphics, or let's just say that you wanted to have a typed out add to cart button, which some marketers do that as well. So you decide, hey, I don't have a button for this, and I don't really want to use the PayPal button because it looks too generic. I'm just going to go add to cart right now, or invest buy now, or you could do add to cart buy now. So let's just highlight that, put it into bold. You could make that bigger so it stands out, make sure it's centered, and this time we're going to come over here to PayPal, back over here to PayPal, the generated code. Go to email, because this email link is just a basic link that you could email customers, or better yet, you can actually copy this. Right click, copy, and you're going to come right on over here and go to insert, and we are going to paste this code in here. So we're just going to go to link, and I'm going to paste this in here. And link to be opened in a new window, I would make sure that's not checked. You want to make sure it just goes straight on through to PayPal because your customers are paying you at that point. So that's how that process works. Or if you had your own button, for example, like let's just say that we've pulled an image here, and let's just pretend that one of these images I'm grabbing happens to be an add to cart button here. So we could come on in here, and let's say that these tulips here is our add to cart button, for example, and we just wanted to insert that. So you could actually insert the image and make the image clickable. Like if I wanted to make this image, for example, clickable, we could actually highlight that and use that image, or we could just insert a different image, for example. So we'll go to insert image. Okay, don't use alternate text. Obviously you'll want to resize the image some. And again, this would be like if the PLR product you purchased came with an add to cart button, or if you had your own button created, or you have your own favorite add to cart button. That's what would come into play here. But all you're doing there is you insert that image, and you're just going to paste in, hitting Control V or Command V if you're on a Mac, to get that clickable. So now that image is now a Buy Now button, and that's clickable to PayPal. So there's three different ways you could use that code from PayPal. You could type out your own add to cart buy now link, or you could have a different call to action, invest in this now, however you want to do that. You could use your own button, but that's how you use PayPal to make this work. Just remember, the most important aspect of doing anything with the sales page as far as PayPal goes is you want to make sure this button is used on your own when you're actually doing your own images. And if you want to just use their form, you can just go to website. And then the other thing that's very important to remember is simply that you want to make sure that it's set on step number 3 of the process, to take your customers to the success page, the thank you page, which is either going to be a place to put in their name and email, or it's going to be a different page. So it's very important that you do that. So let's just jump over here now, and I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm actually going to plug in this button here into the address bar. And there it is. You'll see here, there's your PayPal email up here. And what you're going to see here, e-commerce affiliate profits, which is the name of that course. And if we scroll down here, your customers can either log in or continue if they don't have a PayPal account to pay you. So I always like to test out the link, before I insert it on all my pages. So that's an important step. So what I just showed you here, that's how you set up a payment or buy now button with PayPal. Now, if you are using Pay.com because you want to track affiliates, Pay.com works great because it still works with PayPal. You get paid right away to PayPal, but it's a very cool service. It's $29.95. It's free to get your first product listed and set up. Your first product listed and set up is free. You can have unlimited products listed with them for only $30, so very inexpensive. So we're just going to go ahead and log on in here to our account here. So this will take just a moment. All right, so what we're going to do here then is come up here to where it says My Products, and we're going to choose Create a New Product. And the cool thing again about Pay.com is it will actually track affiliate payments for you. They charge a fee, it's like $2 to $3 per transaction, and then so they get their money that way. But in return, they track your affiliates for you, and so it's a great service for you because you can have affiliates that will promote your product. So that's another option when you're looking for options to set up your product. Setting up a product here is as simple as logging in, choosing View, Edit My Products, and then going through the process. Choose My Products, create a new product. And you're just going to come on in here, plug in this information. Now obviously you know your product description. If it's PLR product or your own product, you know how that's going to go. Product sales page. This part's very, very important because that's going to be the page that the redirect link that pay.com that you maybe give your affiliates or something, that's the link that it's going to redirect them to. So you want to set it up, yourdomain.com, or you could have yourdomain.com/sales, or some marketers do this. They actually go with yourdomain.com/PDC, which stands for pay.com, because they want to use pay.com and ClickBank at the same time, which is fine. It's just that you want to make sure that they're redirecting to slightly different pages with the different payment buttons. So again, it's just yourdomain.com. Wherever your sales page resides, you know exactly where that's going to be. That's what you put in for product sales page. Product thank you URL, much like in that step 3 of PayPal, this part's essential to the process because obviously if your customers invest in your program and they aren't sent anywhere, they're going to want a refund or it's just going to be a nightmare. So your product thank you URL needs to be put in here. So go ahead and put in the thank you link. That could be, again, your squeeze page, the sign up form they go to after registering, and it's just very, very simple. So that's going to be yourdomain.com / so yourdomain.com / ty_123.html. Once you do that, you're just going to click on save within pay.com, and it's going to ask you about payment settings. So this is where you want to choose promote product using PayPal, put in your PayPal email, come on in here, put in your email. If you want the system to automatically email you at a separate address instead of just your PayPal, when an order is made, you can actually put a carbon copy email in here. So that's great. Come on in here, pick your price of the product. Let's just go with $37. You can do a one payment. You could do a recurring with a trial amount. So let's say you could come in here and for $4.95 they could actually try out your product, and then they're billed after 7 or 14 days the remaining balance of what they would owe. You could set it up like that. You could do recurring payments if you had a membership. You have a lot of content, you're drip feeding content. You could do a membership with pay.com. The most obvious option though is the one payment solution. You could also do payment plan with a trial. It ends after certain payments. Payment plan with all payments the same. So if you have a product that's say $300 and you wanted to allow them to make 3 payments of $100 each, you could actually set up a payment plan, and it's going to say how many payments is a buyer charged. You just choose three times. They can bill each and every 30 days for you, and then the price would just go right up here. So you could go 100. So pay.com gives you a lot of flexibility as far as that goes, and so does PayPal as well. It gives you those options also to do recurring payments or to do installments. Now in your case, and most people's cases, they're just trying to get a single product online. So you're just going to go with one payment and go with the 37. And this part's very important. At the end of doing anything, you just want to click on save right here. This option is very important. If you are using pay.com, probably the only reason you would use pay.com instead of just using PayPal, because you do pay that extra fee, is because you want to have affiliates. So one thing I recommend you do is that you set your affiliate payout right here. It's view details, and all you're going to do, click on view details. You notice that right here, and put in whatever percentage your affiliates are getting. If it's 75%, plug that in there. 50%, put that in there as well. Maybe you have a product where your affiliates get a flat fee. Maybe it's a $37 product, but you want to guarantee them $20 of every sale. So you just plug that number in right here, for example. Or the best option though, in my opinion, and in most marketers' opinion, is just do a straight percentage. And go ahead and click on save. You could also they also give you this option to use, if you were doing a multiple payment option. Notice it didn't let me do that, but if I had done a trial option, I actually could have set the trial to be 100% commission. So I could give my customers the ability, or my affiliates the ability to make 100% commission on the $4.95 trial, and then after the trial they get paid 50% of whatever that is. So that motivates my affiliates to push hard to get a lot of people on the low end trial to make a lot of money. Now you've got extra options here. These options you really don't want to worry too much about, except for possibly the redirect buyer directly to PayPal. If your product is a physical product, then it's important that you choose gather shipping address information. That's very important. Or you could choose gather extra personal information as well. But ideally, what you want to do is just redirect the buyer directly over to PayPal. That's probably your best option there. So we're going to go ahead and save that. And then this part is very important as well. It's called marketplace location within pay.com. Marketplace location actually gives you the option of displaying your product in the marketplace. So, and there was one other thing I actually forgot to choose an extra options here that is very important, and they reminded me of that. What is very important to do with pay.com, because obviously you want to have affiliates, you want to have an army of affiliates promote for you, is you want to select approve any affiliate by default for this product. That's what you want to check, is approve any affiliate by default for this product. Make sure that option is checked, because what that's going to do is actually enable you to have your product listed in the marketplace. So now we're going to choose display in the marketplace, and this is where we pick where our product is going to go. So I'm going to come on in here, choose money and employment. We'll select home business, and that's probably the best category. But again, remember I chose approve any affiliate by default for this product. So that means if 100 affiliates apply for this program, all 100 are approved to promote for you. And that's probably the best option when you're starting out. When you get bigger and larger, you can be more selective on your affiliates. But when you're starting out, just go with that option so it appears in the marketplace. Custom order page, you actually do not need to worry about that unless you want to put in like a custom graphic, maybe a custom logo on the pay.com checkout page. But by default, the pay.com checkout page is pretty attractive. So once you've gone through all these steps, it's going to actually now allow you to go here to where it says under my products, it's going to say payment buttons. Payment buttons. So what we're going to do here is look for this product that we just set up. So we've got this product here, let's just look for here, e-commerce affiliate profits at $37. So this product right here is active, does not show in marketplace yet. And you want to come here to where it says make payment button. Very simple and straightforward. And what they're going to do here is give you several different payment options, or there's just a direct link right here that you can use. Now, if you want to know a little bit about HTML code, and since this is technical, I'll share this method with you. A link always starts with href equals and then quotation marks. That's always how a link is going to start out, no matter what. That's the technical side of HTML. That's why using an HTML editor makes so much sense for yourself. So what you want to do here is actually just highlight the link, and it's really easy to pick out the link because you know how links look. HTTPS, HTTP, you know exactly how those look. So I recommend you just copy that link out of there, and you go back over here to your buy now button. Like we're pretending these tulips here is our fake buy now button. We're going to go to insert link, and instead of using the PayPal link, we decide we're going to go with pay.com. So we'll click on OK. And I recommend also, like I did last time with PayPal, that you open up a new little browser tab and you test out that pay.com link to make sure that's going to work for you. So please wait, redirecting to PayPal. That's exactly what you want it to do. And next thing that's going to happen, it's actually tracking your affiliates for you. It takes me to the PayPal checkout, which is exactly what it should have done here. And that's what you want to do there. So pay.com also gives you the similar option, much like was there before, to where you could actually insert your own button as well. So we can actually take this button and we can copy that button here, go in here to the source code, and let's just go to the bottom here and look for this bottom. Look for the button here. Okay, so there is PayPal's button. PayPal's button is coming right on in here. So we'll just plug in this button option right down here. And there it is. Now if you decide you want to make that one clickable, for example, all you got to do is just, now that you've pasted that code in, that button should be working, so you can save your changes there, save your work. It's very important that you always save your work when you're doing anything with this coding here. So let's just open this back up here. Okay, and now let's go back here and grab this link one more time. So we're in pay.com now, and let's say we want to just grab this link here. So we're going to come down here to this field. We're just going to pull out this link, right click, copy, come back over here to Composer, and all you need to do now is just highlight this text if that's going to be your new call to action, insert link, or you could click the link up there and just go ahead and paste in your new link right there. So there it is. We've tested that link. It does work. If you have your own add to cart button, maybe this is one from PayPal, but if you had your own add to cart button, you could just highlight that, go ahead and click on insert, choose link, and then go ahead and paste that on in there. So that works for you. Okay, so that's that process. Now we're going to show you another way to get a payment link. So we've covered PayPal. We've actually covered pay.com. So ClickBank here, everybody knows about ClickBank. They basically are, it's a great way to actually promote because you can have affiliates promote for you. They handle all your affiliate payments. With pay.com, you still have to pay your affiliates. So there's a lot of downsides to using ClickBank, or excuse me, to using having to pay your own affiliates and things like that. So it's much better if you can have your affiliates get paid. It's great because ClickBank will send you a report at the end of the year as far as how much you made for tax purposes. They just make your life very, very simple. There is, some small fees for that, but they do make your life very simple to go through. So we're just going to log on in here to a ClickBank account. If this will let us in here, okay. So this will take just a moment. Okay, so we're logged on in here to this example account here, and you just want to come on over here to where it says account settings, and you want to choose my products. You want to first set up your account with ClickBank, which you can do that at clickbank.com. You just want to go ahead and set up your account. So what you want to do here, where it says add new product, just go ahead and come on in here, and it's going to basically ask you to put in some very basic information for your new product. Now, if you have your first product with ClickBank, they're going to ask for some information here. So let's just go here to where it says edit this product. They're going to want to know, a few things about your product here. They'll want to know basically where your download page is, just some basic information there. So we're going to go here, add a new product, and you can choose if it's shippable media, or since you're brand new, you obviously aren't going to go with that. So you want to choose your product type, which is going to be either be an ebook, video, software, it could be games even. You know what kind of product you have. So let's say we have an ebook here. An item number, let's just go with 2. Let's go with their number system. Thank you page, we just want to go with yourdomain.com/ty underscore 123 .html. Product price, this is where you want to go ahead and put in the price of your product, and then go ahead and go to e-commerce, call your product whatever it is, and go ahead and select save changes, and it looks like it automatically will approve that product for you. And so now once you're set up here, you've basically got your product approved within ClickBank to go ahead and get it submitted here. So this right here is going to tell you, that your product's been approved. Once your account's been approved at ClickBank, you do have to get it approved at first, your opening account, in order to, in order to go through the process of, getting your product posted online and things like that. So you do need to create your new product. You're going to go through the same process. You put in your thank you page and your different links, just like that. Now, one thing ClickBank's going to give you then is they're actually going to go ahead and give you a link that you can actually use for your entire account. So I'm going to show you how to pull that link down. They'll give it to you when you first open your account, but I'm just going to grab it here from this example site page here. So we'll go to this link here and then scroll on down. So what we're looking for here is basically a page where we can actually grab, or just the add to cart button here, we're just going to grab this link here, and I'll show you how your link's going to be structured within ClickBank here. So we'll just right click and we're going to choose, let's see, copy. We're going to copy this link here. Okay, we're going to go to view source here. Okay, so here is what we were looking for. And you're going to get this, you'll get a link that looks very similar to this when you first go about, the process of setting up your ClickBank. So I'm going to open up like a notepad file here. And ClickBank's going to send you this information that I'm about to give you. There, when you first open your account, you're going to get a link that looks similar to this. It'll basically be a link that's got your product ID in it. So it's going to be your product ID, and then it's going to be your product name, which is going to your account name. So it'll be your ClickBank ID and then your product ID. So if it was product number 2, that's what you would put in there. If it was product number 1, which is going to be your first product, that's what you would put right in there for your link. So all your links are going to be structured very, very similar. So for this example, you're going to have your product number, which, as you remember, when we were inside ClickBank here and creating this particular product here, we put in an item number, and then it's actually going to give you like an item number and then your account name, which is what you choose to log into your ClickBank account. And that's actually going to be your new payment link that you're going to put onto your website. So that's exactly what that is going to end up being. So for this example, we're just going to come in here and choose our ClickBank ID right here. And you can go over here to Google, paste that in there to make sure it's going to work here. So that'll take just a moment here, and you'll notice it is redirecting you to a ClickBank checkout page. So you know that works correctly, okay? So that is set up to work as it should. Now you just need to come down here, now that you know what that link is and how to access it. ClickBank is actually will actually give that to you when you first set up your very first product, so it's important that you save it. But again, all it is the product ID that we set up back here within ClickBank. It was a simple, basic product ID that we set up back here, within ClickBank. Item number, that's what you put in, and then your item number is what it is, dot your account name, so that the username you came up with to log in, it could be J Smith enter or J Smith 123 if they allow that. So it's your product number that you see here, or item number, and then you need to make sure your thank you page is there, and then you need to put in your your login name for ClickBank, and then it's .pay.clickbank.net. And again, after you open your ClickBank account on your first product, they will email you once your account's been approved and let you know what your first link is going to be. But that's how you go about doing ClickBank. Now, when you add subsequent products, what's going to happen, like a one-time offer, for example, and we'll cover one-time offers at a later time, but if you were to add a one-time offer, which is going to be product number 2 on this account, it would look something like this. And then, basically that would be the buy now link that you would use on the one-time offer. And what's great about ClickBank is once your account, is approved, you're actually going to, be able to find your product within the ClickBank marketplace. And so then your affiliates can go through the process that you would go through to grab their link, so they browse through the marketplace here and they look for products to promote. Let's say they come across your product here. Let's just use this for an example. Okay, so there it is. And if you were to come on in here, you could go about the process of creating this. So just come on down here, and if you wanted to promote it, you would just choose promote. And then the affiliates would be able to come on in here, and you put in your account name, J Smith 123 if that's the case. Choose create, and it's going to give them their link. So that's how your customers would go about creating their own affiliate link. So it's going to be very similar, very, very simple process. So if you were wondering there, well, that's great, but how do my customers get their link? Once your product's approved, it's going to show up within the ClickBank marketplace. So that's why it's so important that from your account settings in My Products, you have it set up so that people can buy. That's why it's so important that you remember to follow this format when using ClickBank products. And just like with PayPal, just like with Pay.com, and just like with 2Checkout is going to be, it's just basically a link that you're given, and you just need to insert that link and make it active. So once you've gone through this process of your sales page, I'm going to show you real quick how to just start from scratch into a sales page, and then I'll show you how to make your sales page go live. But we'll just show you how to do one from scratch real fast. We're just going to go to new here, and within this service here, within Composer, you want to, it's best if you can start from a template. That's why it's great if you have a private label rights content, because you have something to start with. You have something to work from. So you can come on in here, but the best thing is this is going to be set out in tables. So I'm going to come in here, and we're going to choose the type of table we're working from. Let's see, let's just go one by one table. This is where our content's going to go. We're going to make that align center. Alright, so you're just going to go in here, and you can create a table, type in your information, but really I recommend you write your sales copy somewhere else, or you use private label rights sales copy if you have it, and then all you have to do is just come on in here, highlight it all, and paste it on in here. But the process is very simple. You're just choosing new, and then once you're in here, you want to be able to format things, make it look a little bit better. You don't have to start with the table. You can just start right on in here and say, this is my product. Make sure you check this letter out. So that's your headline, for example. You want to make that larger, make it bold. Maybe you want to go with a different font. So you can just go to Format, Font, choose your favorite font style, and go ahead and make it red and make it stand out. So there you go. Then you come on in here. You could actually, change things up a little bit. Come on over here, dear entrepreneur. And then your picture can go here, sales copy, and then you've got a sub headline maybe that goes right here. That might be black and bold. And maybe you want to make your sub headline the Arial font. So I'm just really showing you the basic steps here, to make this sales letter work. Then you can come back down here, right away with more content. And now you're ready to just go ahead and insert your payment button if you wanted to do that. So, if you wanted to insert your payment button, we could just copy that. There's your payment button. And then you can go through here. Let's say it's going to be a ClickBank product. You could just highlight that, link up that payment button, and in a nutshell, that's your very basic sales letter right here. So let's come back here. One thing with images, when you're linking them up, I'll show you what just happened there. You'll want to go to where it says location and choose don't use alternate text, and then go back to link, and then we will paste this on in here. So now it's set up, ready to go with the ClickBank Buy Now link. And then all you have to do is save that, and it'll ask you to save it with the title. I recommend you put in your keyword here. So affiliate marketing training, do something like that, and then you can hit OK and go ahead and save this as sales page 1. You can just browse through your computer to find where to save it. And there it is. So there's your very basic sales letter. Obviously, as you saw, it's much easier if you go from a private label rights content. It's really as simple as pointing and clicking your mouse. And this is a very basic sales letter. It's got a white background, it's got the red headline, the black text, and honestly, a lot of marketers still use this, and this format still works great. If you happen to get graphics with it, that's great. Really, all you have to do is just upload the template that they gave to you if it came with graphics, and all you have to do is just edit the text part of it by just pointing your mouse and typing and making changes as you will. So using private label rights content would be ideal, especially for your first sales letter. It just gives you a format to go with, and then you can change around and put in your own content. But this, in a nutshell, is how you upload your sales page. Now, one thing I am going to show you, that was how to set it up. I am going to show you how to upload it, as I just mentioned. To upload it, you are going to use a service called FileZilla, which is a free FTP program, which again, as we discussed before, FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and it's basically just a way for you to get content from your computer to get it uploaded to your hosting account. That's really all it is. Very, very simple format. So I'm just going to come on in here and upload this. Go to public HTML. And the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and now that we're logged in here, what we've got to work from here is, inside here, this is actually going to be your main URL, your main domain name. But if you had a sales folder, you could upload it here. If you had a separate domain, like you've added on several domains, you would see those, those folders would show up in here as well. So for this example, we're going to just go with, a separate folder. So let's just go with, let's call this sales folder. So I'm just going to come here, right click, and choose create directory, and then choose sales. Now the right hand side here, this is what's on my hosting company. Left hand side is what's on my web host. So I'm just going to type in sales here. What I'm going to choose here now is the My Documents folder, and I'm going to go ahead and select my username. I'm going to go to where it's found on my computer. Let's choose software here, and let's go ahead and select where we have that downloaded. Here it is. And then we are going to select the sales page we're working from. And you want to make sure if you have any images, like add to cart images, images of yourself, header images, all those kind of things, remember it was important to put them in that folder. You also need to make sure they're uploaded, or you'll get like the red X's and it won't display correctly. Okay, so we're just going to upload these right now. These images will take just a moment to upload. You see your progress here. Again, the left hand side is your computer, the right hand side is your web hosting company. And while that uploads, we'll go ahead and just go look at the page here to see what it's going to look like here. So that'll take just a moment. And so the images are being uploaded, and we're being taken here to look at the sales letter. So remember, we put in that yellow, section here to really stand out. You've got the picture here of the marketer with his family, as we said. You've got the picture of the, koala bear that we threw in there when you're talking about your vacation or whatever you're talking about. We've got that image there that's showing up. As you scroll on down here, you've got your product image. You'll see here that line break that we did, that's showing up. We've got a red X here, so we could go in here and try to figure out what's causing that. And then you've got your several payment options, like this one is going to take you over to pay.com. Pay.com sometimes by default will open in a new window. That's just how they have that set up, but it's going to redirect to PayPal. And then right here, we've got our PayPal add to cart link. And that seems to be working just fine. So there it is. So those two things are working. So the sales letter came in just fine. It's looking up as it should. And you've got here your about us, contact us. Now you could also make those bigger, so they stand up a little bit better. And here's the basic sales page that we created. And this basic sales letter, remember, it was just had some very, very basic content with it. And let's see, looks like we didn't put in the link correctly. Oh, that would be why we actually did not upload it yet. So there it is. So let's go back here and hit refresh. So there it is. Obviously, you want to work with to make sure it gets more centered and things of that nature. But you can do a lot of that from within here, as far as playing around with the margins and different things of that nature. So you can actually play around with how it's going to show up within there, the different cell padding. You can, and that's why it's important to work with tables. And obviously, that's ultimately why it's highly recommended that you just use a template. Your life's going to be much easier if you have a private label rights template to go from. Even if it has nothing to do with this product, buy a cheap private label rights product with the sales letter and just use that format, because it's already going to be kind of centered and in line. All you need to do is swap out your information. So this is the process for setting up a sales page, getting your buy now buttons to work. The most important thing is that on whatever service you're using, make sure that you have a process set up. Make sure that you have it set up to either go to a thank you page to get their registration, their name and email, or that it's set up to take them straight to the download page. That's going to make your life much easier. Pay.com makes it very simple. PayPal makes it simple. And ClickBank makes it extremely simple to do those simple processes. So that's actually our training for today on sales pages.